Welcome to the Eye on Annapolis Local Business Spotlight. There are thousands of locally owned businesses in the area, some small and some large. Some you may know and others you don't. But one thing they all have in common is a great story, and we want to share it with you. Join us every Saturday as we talk to the founders, the owners, and the managers of local businesses you have come to know and love, and those you will come to know and love. Now here's your host, John Frenay, with this week's Local Business Spotlight.
You know, I'll tell you, though, everybody has a fantasy at some point in their life of running away from life and becoming a pirate. And I'm sitting across a picnic table in Eastport and Jimmy Buffett even wrote a song about it, but two people that actually did run away and become pirates. I'm here with Mike and Emily Tomasini with Pirate Adventures. How are you guys?
Great. Living the dream.
Good. Is it?
It is. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, ChesapeakePirates.com is where you want to go. And that is the website for fun in the water in the summertime for kids. And maybe adults too. We'll get into that. But how, I mean, I'm going to assume that you guys weren't born pirates.
No, that's true. Not born pirates.
I don't like wearing shoes. Never have.
How did this all come about?
It's your story. Go ahead.
So we did grow up together on a lake in New Jersey. I spent a lot of time on the water on Cape Cod in the summers. And after I graduated from college with an education degree, I saw a pirate ship go by with a bunch of kids. And I immediately identified with the fact that I didn't want to go into a classroom. I need to be outside at all times, and came home to my new husband and said, I've found what I'm going to do. And 5 years later,
roughly,
we moved down here and opened the boat. And we approached the man who was building that boat, and he ended up leasing us a boat for a year to help us get started.
Okay, that blows my mind because I would have, not necessarily looking at you, but I mean, I came in here totally expecting this whole, okay, I'd had enough of this corporate BS.
Yeah, no, we were young.
And so this was a dream.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And, you know, I do love a story when, I don't want to say that you gave up your education thing because I mean, certainly you are doing it with the way that you're working with the kids, but it's just not in a traditional classroom with a chalkboard and
correct. And that's where all my, that's where my passion comes from, being outside and being able to be with the kids.
Wow. Okay. So when did this start? I mean, you mentioned it was about 5 years, new husband, the whole 9 yards.
This will be our 23rd season.
Yeah. So open doors, May 1st, 2003.
And we did not do it together right away. You were?
Well, I was here for the opening, but I transitioned into this from another career.
Okay. What career was that?
So I was in surgical supply sales.
Okay.
I was a regional salesperson for Maryland, DC, Virginia. So
what's more personally rewarding, surgical sales or sailing?
No, the pirate ship beats it hands down. I won't ever go back.
He used to show up in his suit to fix the water cannons. I'd call him.
You know, I mean, owning a small business can be so rewarding, though. There's freedom. There's God knows there's stress.
Not kidding.
And well, you guys had a while back when they had a fire next door. You guys were impacted by that.
Well, it was. This whole building.
So the fire was here.
The fire was here.
And the smoke went next door.
Next door.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
So we were both affected, and both of us, us and Annapolis Canoe and Kayak, had to move out for summer into temporary digs. So yeah, that was.
And 2 years later, the pandemic came.
That was an interesting experience.
But it was, we learned a lot. I always say we wouldn't have survived the pandemic if we didn't go through the fire, because the fire, we really had to understand our insurance and, get the things that we deserve, that we needed to get to keep going, right, and pivot and make things work. So when the pandemic came, we were like, whatever, we're still here.
Bring it on.
Right. All right, we got this. I'll be writing grants. Get ready.
That's fantastic. Well, in the most basic sense, you guys operate a motorized pirate sailing ship that plies the bay and the harbor and creates havoc and mayhem for a bunch of little kids and some older kids as well.
Yeah, exactly that. That's
we
that's
want
our
the
day
kids
in
to
and day
create
out.
the havoc.
Right. The captains don't create the mayhem. It's the
kid. They become the pirates. That's the idea.
Well, how does the whole program work? Okay, my kids have all flown and grown, so and actually they were probably too old or too cool to come to this at that
by the time we got here, right?
But how does it work for the kids when they come here?
Near you. So they get here, they get face painted and dressed up before we go. And part of the reason we do that is to get to know the kids before they get on the boat with us, get them warmed up, opened up so they can become pirates. Yep. And then the boat ride itself is an hour and 15 minutes long. And that's where they are just pulled into a story. We find a message in a bottle. We actually pull the treasure up onto the ship. If you've ever been by us, you can see that there's an X that marks the spot that's floating in the water that we're looking for. Sometimes other boats find it. And we pull that up onto the ship, and then everybody takes home treasure. So the kids are really, the story's the same every time, but it really depends on the kids that are on the boat, how things go. Sometimes we have groups of up to 30 field trippers that are here for the day. Sometimes it's public cruises that are with their families. They don't really know each other, so the energy's a little bit lower, and it's up to us to pull it up. Sometimes we're trying to harness the energy that's on the boat, but it's really, really fun.
Well, how frequently do you sail? I mean, you're getting ready to open your season. I think that's in a couple of weeks.
So we start April 19th. Unless the weather cooperates for spring break. So there may be some opportunities for us to run during the Anne Arundel County Public Schools spring break. But April 19th, Saturday, we'll open the doors. On that day, we'll have 4 sailings. So in the shoulder seasons, we offer 4 sailings. On the weekends, 10, 12, 2, and 4 o'clock. And then when we roll into our full season, we're 7 days a week, 6 sailings a day, starting at 9:30 in the morning.
Wow, that's a full day.
That's a full day.
That's a full day.
It's a lot of pirating.
Well, Emily, you mentioned field trips and stuff like that. Is that a bit? I mean, I've got to imagine this is great for field trips, great for groups and everything else.
Well, and what's also nice, the first 2 years we operated without this building, and when the opportunity came up, we were doing field trips, but the logistics were kind of nightmarish because we didn't have any place to put them if weather went a little awry. And they can also eat lunch here afterwards. And it allows us to accommodate the boat holds 45 passengers at one time, which can be limiting, but great for the product because it's not giant with tons of kids on it. But we can do 90 and have one group eat lunch in here while the other group is out, and then switch them.
And you just have the one boat right now at this point.
Yes. And that's all we're going to. We did have 2 boats. We had one in the Outer Banks for 2 years.
2 seasons.
Before we hit kids. And we
kids ruin everything, don't they?
Well, we want to be here. We want to be on the boat. So.
Oh, I know. It's funny. It's always, everybody refers to their lives as like BC, but we're kids. We're children. That's the true children. It was a whole
and
different
we only
thing.
had 2. I can't imagine.
Okay, so you've got parties, you've got field trips, you've got individual booking, sailing. So, I mean, a family that's in town for the weekend or, a resident that just wants something fun to do for their kids can come on down here and book one of the public sailings.
Right. And with 6 trips a day that you usually can get on.
There's one.
Right. Available.
There's one on that. Do you do adults at all?
Nope.
No? I mean, I think that could be kind of cool.
Adults with kids, because they're more likely to behave themselves.
Okay. Yeah. So there's no adult themed parties, speaking of harnessing the energy, I guess.
No, and our crew is here to interact with kids. And we did it during the pandemic. And I worked on boats before this where I did a lot of that. I worked on the schooner Imagine here in town. And it just, our boat doesn't lend itself to that environment. And it's hard to make that transition. Working all day with kids and then get into a party boat at night. It's a hard transition, right? And not worth it. Yeah.
I'll tell you, the water has been, I mean, when you first started 23 years ago, I don't want to say the harbor was empty, but I mean, it was not nearly the busy harbor that it is.
See, now
today.
I would say the opposite. That when we started, there was a lot more commercial activity.
Yeah. Recreational activity has picked up, and the mega yacht activity has
definitely
completely changed the dynamic. But
commercially, it was pre-September 11th. Pre-September 11th, when a lot of the corporate charters and Pintail was here. There was a lot more. There were a lot more commercial boats in town.
Well, now it's also changing. I mean, you've got the party boats and the paddle boats and the
the commercial. It's coming back. Like that's actually been nice to watch. That there seem to be more commercial boats coming back into town.
And I guess just out of curiosity, I mean, do you do charters?
Like
for
private,
them?
yeah. I mean, so our birthday parties can be private charters. That's a way
Okay.
to do it. And so can the field trips. And
we do get like family reunions
Right.
or like wedding groups or something like that. And,
Sure.
And I mean, we've even had financial advisors who want to bring all their clients together for something, for like a pitch meeting or whatever. So
Right.
they rent the boat. We do the same pirate adventure for them that we do for everybody else, but you can bring up to 45 people and get a nice cruise out of it.
That'd be a fun little team building effort.
Right. But I mean, we focus on groups that have kids
yeah,
with them
yes.
because, again, our staff just they don't know what to
Doesn't-
do with a group of adults.
Well, your staffs have to have the greatest job in the world.
I think they do.
Do you hire seasonally? I mean, I know that some of like the woodmen and stuff like that, they get some younger people that
Mhm.
come in for a couple seasons, and then college and life and husbands and wives and kids and all that come
Yeah.
into the picture, and they float around. I mean, is it primarily a younger crew?
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly how it flows. So we try and hire them young. They start in high school. They stay all the way through college. Some of them get their captain's license. We've had one or two that have stayed into their 30s. But yeah, then married, kids, it's a seasonal job. So that's
Sure.
a challenge of it. But it's also, I mean, our crew is what makes it worth coming in here every morning.
Well, you guys are full time yourself. Owning a boat is never time to rest.
That's the truth.
So, I mean, do you pull your boat out every year and do the maintenance and?
Yep. So she's out right now. The boat's on the hard at Bert Jabin's. We're prepping for opening day. We launch next Thursday. And so lots of work to be done. I mean, anybody who knows a boat knows that there's always something that
There's always something that
needs to be
done.
taken care of. So
Walk me through an adventure. I mean, we're here in a great little land-based sort of a pirate boat with picnic tables and a wonderful facility right here at the bottom of 3rd Street, right at the Annapolis Harbor. I mean, so the kids come in, they get painted, they get dressed, and you said they can have lunch here. Is that something that you provide, or they can come here as a sort of a picnic lunch?
Yeah, it's a packed lunch. With birthday parties, we offer Rocco's Pizza delivers here for us, and we do cupcakes with palate pleasers. Families sometimes eat in here, but it's usually they've got plenty of places to go. That's the other great thing about where we are, right? Families they can go to Bread and Butter, they can go to Davis's, they can go to the Boatyard, and we kind of push them.
I'm making that same decision right now after we're done.
What are you going to do?
Lunch.
Right,
What are we going to do for lunch?
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful town in Eastport. I mean, so walkable too. If you're, if you're staying in a hotel, you can be, even if you're at the Westin, we'll say one of the far-reaching hotels. I mean, you can probably be here in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
easy.
And water taxi. And I always, we wanted to be at City Dock when we started, and at the height of summer on a weekend, I'm looking straight over there, and I'm so glad we're over here.
Where did you operate when you said it was a year or a season that you were?
So the first season when we came here, we had the boat, and our current landlord, the Templeton family, leased us a slip. It was right here on the dock.
Days before we opened.
But they did not. They didn't have a space for us to operate out of.
Okay.
And they were worried because they had never met us. They didn't know what we were going to do about liability with the kids around the docks. So we made an agreement with the city, the Annapolis City Marina. Those picnic tables that are outside of Carroll's Creek above the parking deck. They would be able to get the parking revenue from our customers, and in exchange, they would let us use the picnic tables for our stuff, the face painting and the dress up and the getting the kids warmed up. And then we would take a group. Back then, the boat only held 38, so we would take a group of maybe 15 kids, and we would sneak from the Annapolis City Marina, which is over on 4th Street, down 4th Street, then down Severn Avenue, then down 3rd Street here to the water, and then load everybody onto the boat.
And sneaking is what pirates do.
Sneaking is what pirates do. And it was some of the greatest moments in Eastport. The residents and the other business owners just loved it. I mean, people would come out like we were doing a parade, right? Every hour and a half, we're marching this group of
oh my God, the kids are loving it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, and people would yell things out the window like "the coast is clear," and it was like I don't know, community theater outdoors, and it was really fun.
Logistically, it came with its challenges.
Yeah, but it was logistically challenging. And then the boat builder who was in this space, Belkov Yacht Carpentry, they left to move to a shop over at Bert Jabin's, and this space became open. That was it. I mean,
And the rest is history.
and the rest is history. It was really just a great fit for us.
This is a big spot.
It is.
This
It's
is
a big warehouse. Yeah, it's almost a little over 3,000 square feet.
What do you do with it all?
Well, so we split it up into 3 sections. It's got the party room, it has a gift shop, and then we have an office and a workshop in the back.
Okay.
And we are maritime zoned and lucky to be included in that.
Absolutely. So you've got swag.
Yep.
You've got a gift shop that you can buy the pirate adventures.
Mhm. All the
Sweatshirts
t-shirts,
and the
the
sweatshirts
swords,
and everything else.
the bandanas, the eye patches, the earrings, all that stuff.
Do you do any special sailings? I know I know the Woodwind and the Wimley and some of the other ones they do, like the Blue Angels Day and obviously I know you're not out hunting.
And well, we have done it. Like we used to have a field trip that would come on the Tuesday, and it just was so funny. But we tend to save those days for crew and family. But we do offer. We have a Pirate Princess Day, so Ariel, Tinkerbell, and Moana come and visit, and we do that 3 to 4 times a year. The kids get the regular pirate adventure, and then when they come back, the princesses are waiting for them at the dock, which is
I imagine little girls just
insane.
losing their mind.
They lose their minds.
Yeah.
It's so cute. And then they come in here to the party room and they do like pictures and a meet and greet. It's
And
like
sing
Disney.
along.
Yeah, but there's no line. They get instant access to the princesses, and they're all
Right.
jazzed up because they just went out and found. It's a really cute event.
You don't feed them like chocolate out on the board.
No, they do get grog though, which is soda, and I'm holding on tight to that because we actually pull that up out of the water, and it's a surprise, and it's soda, and the kids are looking at their parents like,
Yeah.
"Are you going to ruin this for me?" And we feed them all soda right before they get back. And then we have the cool special event that we do that is our favorite and kind of a local's favorite is a $5 day. So it's usually the 3rd Monday in July when we're all kind of eating the grind and have been pulling a lot of buses down here and running 6 trips a day every day. And $5 day, we open the doors at 8 o'clock and we sell all our tickets for the day for $5 a piece. And our regular ticket price is $33. So it's a pretty good deal.
Oh, wow. So you take no bookings for that day.
No bookings.
for
The
that day.
calendar is empty.
First come, first serve.
First come, first serve.
Yep.
We open the first boat at 9:30. Once that's full, we sell the next boat. And typically, when we get here at 8 o'clock, there are enough people in line to buy out the whole day.
That's wild. Sort of
It's
like what
really
Nancy
fun.
Hammond used to do with her. Her
Yeah.
annual.
Yeah, it's
picture
really
where
fun.
it's
And we
like-
don't even, the crew, we don't tell, they can show up if they want to. I always am worried that nobody's going to show up, but usually we have too much crew on that day.
Yeah, it's kind of like our customer appreciation day. So
Yeah.
Well, it's fun. One thing I do love about you guys is that you're a part of the fabric of the community. Okay. And Eastport is its own little odd fabric.
I think we make that part of that up.
But Annapolis is such a tight community, and we look at we talked about COVID, which I'm really trying to get beyond that. But when COVID did hit, the community really came together, countywide, Annapolis citywide, and I know Monica over at Bread and Butter Kitchen led the charge on making sure that restaurants were able to keep open, keep the lights burning very dimly, but burning.
Right.
And it was just so refreshing to see. And one thing I love about doing these is meeting business owners and businesses that realize that it's not just about the buck. You got to eat. Your kids got to eat.
But it is a lifestyle that is part of why we do what we do. So we have time to do those things.
And it's all about being part of the community, which is, you give to the community and they give right back to you. So it's a very copacetic kind of a.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're lucky.
and
Our
it's-
kids go to Eastport Elementary School, so they walk to school. We've been really involved over there. We had a pirate pod here during the pandemic. Kids did gym class right here on these picnic tables. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, that's what.
We would go down and play at the playground.
2 blocks away.
Yeah, it's right
It
down.
makes it real easy for you. But
Yeah.
how many kids do you estimate have become pirates for you guys?
I'll let you do the math.
oh my gosh,
Do the math.
I
that's a really good question. All right, so
Something
if we
we should
consider
do.
it half,
We're not checking
Yeah.
it, okay? We've
Right.
gotten beyond the classroom and the teaching thing.
Thank God.
probably about 500,000.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And that's just kids, right?
Yeah.
We're busy.
That's crazy.
it's a long time.
sure,
I'm doing
20,
the
long
23 years,
time.
but
Yeah.
still. And I'm having a hard time believing that it's been 23 years.
so
do we. That's probably a close number.
Wow. That blows my mind.
Same.
Not mine. I knew it. Nobody believed me, but I knew it.
Emily's going, it was like 493,281. But I mean, and here, this might be a dumb question, but are you looking for help, or do you have?
No, I mean, we are in a really good place with help. We didn't even advertise that we needed crew this year, and we ended up with 10 or 12 interviews.
Yeah, typically this time of year we would be clawing for. I mean, even just last year we were clawing for help.
Yeah, we just have suddenly found ourselves in a great place.
Yeah, and then this season, for some reason, the people that we expected to maybe not come back want to come back, and the people that were really interested in the job didn't have to wait for an advertisement. They reached out and they were like, "Hey, I was on your boat last summer with the neighbor's kid babysitting, and I really had fun, so I figured this would be a fun summer job." So we've hit a sweet spot, and I'm sure it won't last. But
well, that's the best kind of employee to have, though, the one that wants to come back to you.
Oh, we get
that's who does well here. If they don't want to come back, they know it within a week.
And customers too that know the deal. I mean, I imagine it's a little bit easier on training, which is, from an operational standpoint. But I mean,
well, yeah, we're to the place where the kids that went here, when they had birthday parties here, are now working for us. The kids that I started with,
does that make you feel pretty old now?
The kids that I first hired, their kids are now old enough to go on the boat. Oh, they're not kids anymore.
Oh my gosh. That's just got to be a total mind F.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially
100%.
We only have a 9-year-old.
Yes.
That's the other thing. We waited a while.
Do you guys talk fluent pirate?
In
Absolutely.
the summer, yeah. In the summer. Try and hold off.
Hey, come on, throw it out.
I mean, my name is Captain Ruby and his name is Captain Krabby. And we lose our real names as soon as we interchange those names.
Yeah.
April 19th.
Well, I mean, it's
even
kind of year
today,
round.
right, yeah,
at the grocery
round.
store, people are like, "Quick, Captain Krabby, what are you doing here?" I was like, I do have to eat.
Right, and we call each other Ruby and Krabby.
Are you two the captain?
We do have other captains, but we're both captains. Yeah.
How often do you guys personally get out on the?
I mean, I wish that I got out more, but
yeah, I'm on the boat a lot.
He's on the boat a lot. He's also Pirate Pete a lot.
It depends season to season. So this year we're lucky enough to have 3 young adults who have put in their time and passed their captain's test and are now ready to get some real wheel time as individuals. They're 3 college students, really bright, really put an effort in, because it's not an easy thing to get their captain's license. So this summer we'll have 3 what we call full-on captains that we can.
And we don't tend to hire captains off the street, because if you don't work here first and understand the whole idea of the adventure, it's real hard to walk into it and take the lead.
This is not a sit down, shut up, and let me tell you about the bay.
No,
it is not. No, and it is a personality type that, so typically anybody that comes here and becomes a captain is somebody who worked here from the ground up and knows.
We've never had a captain
knows every aspect of the business and is really good at working with kids and also working with other young adults, right? Because that's a big part of it. The teamwork around making all these pieces work is how everybody interacts with each other, including Pirate Pete, who is, as you know, the smelliest and stinkiest pirate in the bay.
Yeah. Parents need to accompany their children?
Yeah, we do. 1 adult per group of children.
Okay. So if I were to bring my neighbors, which don't have little kids or stuff like that, there would be one of them could hang with like the 5 neighbors, and we could go to
5 or 6. Yeah, I mean, our kid, the crew provides the entertainment on the boat, and our goal is to have all the kids up front and have the parents sitting in the back,
just watching them, taking the pictures and chilling out.
And that because that's what creates the kids as a little tribe and turns them into a gang of pirates, right? Like that's what we're going for. So we don't want a ton of adults on the boat.
Is that the right term? A gang of pirates?
I just thought to myself, am I allowed to say that anymore?
Is it a gang of pirates, or is it you would think that would have a different name with
a crew? Let's call it a crew of pirates.
Like a scallywag of pirates, right? Or something or other like that. And for the helicopter moms that are listening out here, okay, I
was trying not to say that.
Your boats are U.S. Coast Guard approved, certified, inspected. The life jackets, while may not be abundantly visible are there?
Well, they actually are. Ours are abundantly visible. They're right on the roof, and we point them out before you go. They're not required to wear them because being a Coast Guard passenger vessel is a rigorous process that we adhere to, but they're welcome to wear them if they want to.
Sure. And there is, I'm assuming, a safety lecture
before we go.
Before we
go. And part of the trip is designed to keep the kids busy, occupied, and safe. One of the things we say, the first thing we teach them when we get on the boat is that when the crew member says all hands on deck, they are to run to the front of the boat, get their hands on the deck because something important is about to happen. And then we practice it. So if you ever see us when we first pull out, that's what we're doing. The kids are getting down on the deck and then they're getting back up, getting down on the deck, getting back up. And it shows the parents that we're ready.
That you're into it.
We've got a plan here. It's not just going to be complete chaos, right?
How did you come up with the story and the I guess the curriculum? I mean, is that the teacher
a lot
in
of
you?
it evolved. Yeah, it's the teacher in me, and a lot of it evolved from the boat in Cape Cod. He was just starting when we got started, so we've shared ideas. And then my best friend, my neighbor from high school, owns a pirate ship under the Pirate Adventures brand in New Jersey. So the three of us are always kind of talking about the ways to make it better. But yes, the teacher and me turned it into, the kids sit down on the dock before we get on the boat. When we used to sneak down the street, it was in a line. Control while keeping it fun is kind of my specialty.
Apparently, you can take the teacher out of the classroom, put her on the bay, but you can't quite get it all out of
it's really there. Yeah,
all out of there. But well, I want to thank you guys for your time, but I want to thank you for what you've done for the community and for certainly 23 years. That's amazing.
Feels good.
It's been a fun ride.
And, again, ChesapeakePirates.com is the website where you want to go. You can book your tickets there. I know you can book them in advance. You can book them the same day of. And I'm assuming, as with every other charter type thing here in town, that you've got the, when it rains, you get your money back, when you don't sell.
Right. Yeah. We have a couple different options. You can buy vouchers, kind of like a Groupon that you can use anytime during the season, and those you can get online. We also offer what we call our full price tickets, which gives you the flexibility to cancel for any reason up to the day before.
Okay.
And then if we cancel, it's no charge to you. Everybody just walks away.
Right. What's been the most surprising thing for you guys in 23 years? What was there any kind of, aside from COVID and the fire and COVID, is there any kind of whoa, we didn't think of that?
I think it's been the relationship with the crew watching these kids grow up.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. We
didn't see that coming.
I don't think that we saw that part of it, because we assumed that we were going to be hiring young kids, they're teenagers and college students. And I don't think that we saw the length that we would keep them in our lives. It's, kids who we hired kids who we hired in 2003, we still keep in touch with. They still come back and visit the shop. They occasionally want to get on the boat and run through a pirate adventure. And
we just spend so much, our days are very long. Our days are 10 hours. So we watch the kids grow, it's amazing to watch that. The arc, you hire a 14-year-old and they leave here as a 25-year-old. It's really cool.
And bringing their own kids back.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's wild. ChesapeakePirates.com. And I want to thank Mike and Emily for the time today. One final question before I go. It is approaching noon when we're recording this, and I need to figure out where to go for lunch here. Eastport, as we've discussed, is a great walking town, and there's no place in Eastport that I don't like.
It's really great, isn't it?
So throw me out my suggestions for where should I go for lunch?
Okay. You've got an abundance of choices right now, and they're all really good. I just noticed that the tent was going up at the Boatyard. So the tent's up at the Boatyard Bar and Grill down the street. If you're into a good, fun environment, really good crab cakes. If you want a view of the water and you want to sit outside and take in the sunshine, then you should go over to Bread and Butter Kitchen. Davis Pub for a nice cold beer. Forward Brewing, if you're into the microbrews and the small plates.
I'm not going to get any work done if I go to all those places.
Where should you go today?
Yeah, where do I go today?
I would go to Bread and Butter Kitchen.
Sounds like a plan.
And the cool thing about Eastport, as he's listing all these restaurants, a majority of the small business owners who own restaurants and small businesses that you think of when you think of Eastport live in Eastport. We're all neighbors, and we run our businesses and live here together. Dick lives right down the
No,
street. Kevin lives right down the street.
Okay, we got
We do.
Kevin is in Eastport, I think.
Yep.
Janet Davis is. Leeward is not. Monica's not.
She's part of the fabric of the community.
Oh,
right?
they both are.
And then Vin 909, he lives here in Eastport. It's a different feel than when you go across the bridge.
Tony at Eastport Kitchen.
Tony lives in Eastport.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm always surprised that we all live here and work here.
It's a great place to live. It's a great place to work.
That's the truth.
Sounds like I should run for office. Hell no. Hey, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this week's Local Business Spotlight. Please make sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinion. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you all the day's local news direct to your phone, tablet, or computer in about 10 minutes. It comes to you at 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday, and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.